Hello, everyone, and welcome back to Crypto Live Leak. We have a special episode for you today. We're beginning a new series called The Crypto Tonight Show, starring yours truly, Ken Garofalo. So let's get into our little disclaimer, and then we'll hop right into today's episode. Guys, and just to let you know, you can sponsor the Crypto Live League show and the Crypto Tonight Show by just giving us an email at contactus@cryptoliveleague.com. So today's episode is obviously not brought to you by anyone, but we hope that the future episodes will be. So without further ado, let's hop right into a screen share so we can get into today's news items. I want you guys to know we have our YouTube channel, Crypto Live Leak, where the live stream is shown. And we have also a slew of edited, fully produced videos with numerous interviews of founders and CEOs of up-and-coming projects within the blockchain cryptocurrency space. So be sure to give us a subscribe and follow on the notification bell on YouTube. We also have a local meetup that I'm starting here in Boston. I do run the Tezos Boston meetup as the local chapter president of the Tezos Commons Foundation here in Boston. However, we are trying to expand our reach to other blockchain communities within this meetup networking atmosphere. So give a look on meetup.com for Boston blockchain networking and stay tuned for our future events. All right, so we're going to get into Bitcoin here. What I have up on the screen now is a site called bitcoinblockhalf.com. And this is actually a countdown to the halving of the Bitcoin block rewards. That's going to happen in about 124 days that we see here. So typically this has been a bullish indicator for the price of Bitcoin in the past, and it makes perfect sense. Okay, we're going down from a decrease of 12.5 Bitcoins to 6.25 Bitcoins per block reward. So theoretically, if the difficulty remains the same, for the miners' profitability to stay the same, I mean, the price of Bitcoin would have to double. But in the past, we've seen it do much more than double. So bullish sentiment coming in the future due to the block reward halving. However, there was other news recently this past week that caused a little bit of movement in the price of Bitcoin as well as the price of gold. And this is actually going to be the conflict with Iran. We saw President Trump sent some missiles, or the U.S. sent some missiles into Iran, and it ended up killing one of their leaders. And subsequently, it seemed like the price of Bitcoin was positively affected by that negative turmoil. So it acted as a safe haven asset from global political turmoil. So this is one of the first examples that we're actually seeing Bitcoin act like this for investors. It's similar to how gold acts. So before we get into the price of gold, I just want to show you guys a Bitcoin chart here. This goes back through early 2018, late 2017, where we saw the price run up to about 20,000 there at the top. We saw a retraction over the coming year, 2018, into a low of about 3,000 in the beginning of 2019, and we saw some sort of a surge back to 14,000, and now we're sort of consolidating again. Just the reason I want to bring this up is I'm going to show you a chart now that's actually going to be from the past, and it looks eerily similar to this. So we'll flash over to another chart. Here you could even correlate this spike here to the 20,000 spike in 2017, 2018, and then you saw the lull, which we can correlate to the $3,000 price in the beginning of 2019, and then you see it starting to come up. It sort of forms a cup and handle formation. Well, this is not the chart we just saw, even though it looks identical. This is the chart from 2014 through the beginning of 2017. So to me, this indicates a repeat in pattern, the chart formation for the Bitcoin price. If all plays out as we expect here, if the pattern fully repeats itself, we should see reaching of the all-time high at some point here in 2020. And you pair that with the Bitcoin reward halving, that's definitely bullish indicators for the price of Bitcoin. So we see that same formation happening, and we should expect further consolidation on this handle and then a rise to test all-time highs again. And from there, who knows? Or maybe we'll be at 250K of Bitcoin in 2021, 2022, like so many predict, such as Tim Draper. So now we're getting into the price of gold. So back to conflict in Iran and how it affects the price of these assets. Price of gold has historically acted as a safe haven asset from political and global turmoil, like we're now seeing Bitcoin act. So we should see that reflect in the price, right? Well, exactly. If you see here, back on about December 22nd, we saw a breakout in the price of gold and sort of a upward movement here until yesterday when we had President Trump come on air and give what some are calling a Adderall-stricken withdrawal speech where he was slurring his words and whatnot. I wouldn't know, but it's kind of funny. There's a lot of memes going on online right now regarding that speech, but it's important to know what he said in that speech. It was basically de-escalating the conflict with Iran in that speech. So this means less of a risk of war. And that's sort of how the prices of these assets reacted. If they ran upwards because of the thought that war could be coming and these could be a safe haven, well, it seems like there was some selling off of that reduced risk of that war happening right as of that speech coming out yesterday. So a lot of people speculate that the run-up may have been due to increased hash rates in Bitcoin. But why does it correlate with gold? So obviously this recent run-up in price was due to the Iran conflict, and we can see a matching run-up here in the price of gold, matching run-up to the Bitcoin price, and then the letdown once Trump de-escalated the conflict or gave the speech to de-escalate the conflict. So just a little thought there. Really interesting that we're seeing Bitcoin sort of trade with political turmoil now, and maybe we can use that to project prices in the future. It's not that you're rooting for war, but it seems like a consequence of potential war could be a rise in the price of cryptocurrency assets, gold assets as well. So, I mean, a lot of publications are coming out basically reflecting that same sentiment that, the price of Bitcoin is trading based on the messages the U.S. and Iran are sending. The more messages in regards to war, the higher the price seems to go. And when the conflicts get de-escalated, the price sort of deflates with that. Next, we're going to get into just some general statistics on Bitcoin's hash rate and difficulty in mining revenue. So this is also very important. The hash rate in Bitcoin, all this information here is coming on blockchain.com/charts. So let's get into the hash rate. Hash rate indicates how many miners are contributing power to the network. So the more hash rate, the more secure Bitcoin is, essentially. So this chart measures in trillions of hashes per second. And we can see from early 2019 to the end of 2019, we see basically more than a doubling in hash rate. We have almost 50 million terahashes a second, and now we're all the way above 100, close to 120 terahashes a second. So the hash rate of Bitcoin has been rising over the past year. The network has become more secure than ever. If we go to an all-time chart here, you can really see the drastic rise in hash rate and how we're near a top now as well. So there are also articles out there speculating that could be a bullish factor into the rise of the Bitcoin price, as well as the global conflict with Iran. Okay, you might have an argument there. Let's also track the difficulty. So I really haven't looked at the difficulty of Bitcoin mining since I mined it myself many, many years ago. And basically, I was very discouraged. The miner I had would not be able to produce anything for its cost in electricity based on the difficulty today. So looking back in the beginning of 2019, you had a difficulty at about 5.8 there, and now we're more than double. So it kind of goes with the hash rate there, more than double since the beginning of 2019, the difficulty. So that means it takes more power, more terahashes a second to produce that same reward that you would get earlier in the year with less terahashes a second in mining power. Now, mind you, this should all be affected once the halving occurs. And I'm very curious to see what actually happens to the difficulty and the hash rates once that reward is reduced in half. Are there miners that pull out of Bitcoin mining because the price doesn't rise in correlation with the halving of the reward? Okay, then that means the difficulty should drop. That means the hash rate should drop. Does that make Bitcoin more susceptible to a 51% attack during that intermediate period? Does that mean the price of Bitcoin needs to rise to ensure the security of the network, to ensure that miners don't leave the network? All very interesting questions. All right, guys, let's transition into Tezos news. Big Tezos following on our channel. We love the Tezos community. Do a lot of work here in Boston locally for Tezos under the Tezos Boston chapter of Tezos Commons. So I just want to bring up our meetup page. You guys can go to meetup.com and search Tezos Boston Meetup. Feel free to join this group. We've had a lot of people attend, not only from the greater Boston, Massachusetts area, but from greater New England, New York, and also globally. We had someone here from Paris during our last meetup. I know Berlin folks joined us. So it's truly a global meetup. And we always have extremely high quality speakers and swag and food. It's always free for the attendees, and it's truly a great value add for you guys to attend. So I highly suggest looking into our past events. Everything's documented here. Shows all our amazing past events that we had, including the one that we most recently had, which I'm most proud of. Security tokens on Tezos panel talk featuring TokenSoft, Tezos Capital, StakerDAO, Jonas from StakerDAO, and TQ Tezos. So basically what we did is we had them come give presentations on what they're contributing to the security token ecosystem on Tezos, and we learned what the security token standard is going to be. We learned how that standard is being utilized through TokenSoft software and how TAs can manage creating and issuing and managing security tokens. And then we saw the use case, StakerDAO, creating their own security token. So all that video footage is on our YouTube channel, Crypto Live Leak. Just go there and look for the security tokens on Tezos Panel Talk video. We have over an hour and a half of footage from that meetup. High quality stuff. Really recommend you guys check it out. Cool. Next, our plan for Q1 in Tezos Boston. Just letting you guys in on a little bit of the direction I want to see us go and what my plans are already in the works of happening. So MIT Bitcoin Expo 2020 is one of the bigger, more reputable events in Boston in regards to blockchain and Bitcoin. And this is happening in March. So this is the third month into 2020. And basically, they're having a hackathon this year. And instead of, us organizing our own Tezos Boston hackathon, I thought it would be a great idea to jump on board with this hackathon and somehow sponsor in some way to get the Tezos name involved here. And then what I want to do is I've made all these connections with universities and students over the past year, whether it was, judging blockchain pitches for a class at Babson, or whether it was working with the Harvard undergraduate blockchain group over at Harvard, and even covering the MIT Bitcoin Expo last year through the Crypto Live Leak media outlet. Made all these connections with students, and even in Worcester, we have a contact. James that has some contacts in Worcester, that WPI, Holy Cross. There's a lot of good schools and colleges in this area and a lot of assets in these students. And basically what I want to do is connect business students with engineers, because I feel like there's just a disconnect with some of these projects. You might have a really great engineer who's, the best coder there is. He can make, very usable software, but he may not realize how to make money with that software. So maybe it's a good idea to introduce these two counterparts together and try to have them form teams to build projects on Tezos, which is going to be great for the ecosystem. So I'm trying to leverage those connections and the talented students and see what we can do, all revolving around this MIT Bitcoin Expo hackathon. Maybe it will be pitch contests leading into the hackathon. So something to keep an eye on. Definitely will release more information when it comes. Okay, so next I want us to take a little look at tzstats.com. This is the best, in my opinion, currently, block explorer for Tezos. Doesn't have all the features that TZ Scan used to have, but it has most. So you'll be able to use this, and you'll end up liking it. So what I want to focus on here is Carthage 2.0. We're going to pop over to tezosagora.com and just check out some stats. So this is going to be the upgrade that's been introduced, a protocol upgrade for Tezos. As we know, it's a self-amending ledger, and these upgrades sort of come in like software development cycles, right? We're currently in the exploration phase, and we can see here that we have a large voting participation. Well, not large, but we have 45% of the network already voted yay, nay, or abstain for this exploration phase of Carthage 2.0. And we see an overwhelming amount of them voted in favor. So this is a very cool site, tezosagora.org. I think I said .com earlier, so tezosagora.org. Head on over there. They have some great learning materials on the different phases of the Tezos amendment process. And then again, you can track the current amendment as it's going through. So what is Carthage 2.0? Well, we have a great visual that was published on Twitter the other day. I believe this was Blind Ripper that I ended up grabbing this image from. But here we can see basically a breakdown of what does Carthage Protocol 006 PS Carthage introduce in terms of what upgrades to the chain, right? So smart contracts, we're going to have an increase in gas limit by 30%, just meaning basically you can execute a more complex smart contract within a block. Number 2, we have a baking and endorsing. So the formula to calculate baking and endorsing rewards was improved in order to provide more accurate results. The formula was further modified in order to make it more resistant to certain types of attacks. 3, accounts. The assert that was triggered when a delegated account tried to empty itself was replaced by a proper error message. Number 4, Michelson. Protocol 006 contains several improvements to the Michelson smart contract language. So as we know, Tezos has the best smart contracts to most easily facilitate formal verification, and we see small improvements being made to that contract language Michelson here. So very good update protocol amendment here. It seems like it's more of a maintenance update where these small little things are being fixed and smoothed over and upgraded, and it's nothing really drastic. It's not like a ZK Snark sapling being introduced or anything like that. So as you'll see here, the process of introducing these amendments is not going to be something major every time. You might have like a maintenance update or upgrade being introduced in the interim period between major upgrades, and this is a good thing. And I'm just going to go back to the quote that the founder, Arthur Brightman, had regards to the upgrade process. It's like a river smoothing a rock. Over a long period of time, many years, that rock becomes very smooth. So something to think about there, and follow the amendment process, and vote. If you're a baker, make sure you vote. We see some ethical bakers out there like Coinbase, which is a very large baker, abstaining, right? So as long as they abstain, they respect the Tezos government process. They don't have to vote yay or nay, but they're respecting it by abstaining. Same thing that the Tezos Foundation actually does. Cool. So moving on here, I want to give you guys a sneak peek of our next edited interview video from Delta Summit. Okay, so we have Eric, the managing director at Binance. Okay, he's out of Malta. We interviewed him in Malta when we were at Delta Summit earlier in 2019, and that's going to be the next video to be released in the coming days here. That should be out tomorrow, and we'll have a written article with that as well, published on cryptoliveleak.org. So if you want to follow our Twitter feed, you'll definitely see those videos in that article when it gets posted. You can follow me at Ken Garofalo on Twitter. You'll see I post a lot about Tezos, and that's mainly what I use this account for. You'll see I have some of my other projects listed there. But again, if you want to follow us at Crypto Live Leak, I hope you do. We'll post all our interview video content, any kind of YouTube videos usually gets posted here on the Crypto Live Leak Twitter feed. So hopefully you'll be able to follow us. And come on, guys, we need to get our following up. We post such high-level content, and we only have a few thousand followers. It's just a shame. It's not right. So we got to do something to get these followers numbers up. And hopefully the Crypto Tonight Show is a start of something good there. And before we end, I'm just going to show you guys a little. If you haven't seen cryptoliveleak.org yet, feel free to get on there. It's a blog, but it's so much more. We have attention mining, which is a mechanism that rewards users our cryptocurrency, the CLL token, at this time. In the future, maybe it rewards a different currency. Maybe it's even Tezos that's getting rewarded out through attention mining. But at this time, it's our own token, CLL, Crypto Live Leak. So go on our blog, sign up to become a user, and earn some free token. And actually use spend the Crypto Live League token for advertisement placement with on the site. So you see here this Binance ad, this attention mining ad, that's actually placed and paid for with the CLL token that was earned from the site. So really interesting stuff. You know, we're more than just a news and media company. We are also developing this technology as well. And guys, also feel free to join us in our Telegram group. Only 162 of you in there. I want to see more. Same thing. Let's discuss some ideas. Let's see what you want us to review in our next video, and we'll make it happen, guys. So I hope you enjoyed watching, and I'm just going to give you guys a quick little cut into this is a little promo screen for cryptoliveleague.org and attention mining. So I won't bore you to death with that. Until next time, guys, I hope you take care. Feel free to reach out to me, and we'll see you next time. Take care.